In this episode we're animating a little birthday message video, but it's a great excuse to show shape layers and how you can link effects. So here we go, we've got this picture of a birthday cake you've made. And some text, and we're going to animate the words to swipe on, but we also want to put flames on the birthday candles. There's half a dozen different ways we can put flames on. You can get stock footage of a flame and add that in, but then there's no point doing a tutorial because that's just adding stock footage. So instead we're going to add a shape layer in the shape of a flame, and then we'll wiggle it so it looks like a flame and add some glow and stuff like that to it. So, probably quickest and easiest thing to do right now is if you zoom in on one of the candles. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. There we go. Yep.
And then if you use the pen tool and draw a basic flame shape. That's it. That's all it needs to be, because we're going to add in all of that funky shaping of it later on. So you don't need to get it perfect.
Good, because it's very much not perfect, but okay.
So what this has done is we didn't have any of the layers selected. We've used the shape tool, which has allowed us to draw a path, but it's created a shape layer. So that is something that exists purely inside the After Effects project. There's no file attached to it. And it's a really quick way when you're needing to create a new solid, for instance, to get an odd shape. You don't have to go through creating a solid. You can just make a shape layer. And it then comes with a few extra features that masks don't have. So if you twirl down, if you expand shape layer 1, you'll see what those extra features are. So the shape layer has its shape, it has its path, it has a stroke and a fill already set, and it's got its own transform coordinates separate to the entire layer's coordinates. So you can make all sorts of adjustments as you need to. But what we don't want is that white outline for now, so you can select stroke and hit the delete. So now we've just got our shape, and obviously it's bright red, which isn't ideal. But before we change the color, let's add that flame animation. So you can go to add, that tiny little add button, and go for wiggle paths. That's creating a noise on that layer. Now, if I just play it back, it's not ideal right now. It's a bit too detailed for the shape. So you can expand wiggle paths, drop size to about half, and the detail down to 4 or something like that. Might even be well, we'll see what it's like. Might just want that at 2. Now if I play it back now, you can see we're getting some level of animation. It's not quite right yet though. No. So the points are set to corner. Change that to smooth, and maybe drop the detail down a bit more. Maybe go down to say 2. But actually that's already getting better. Say we're happy with that for right now. Let's now change the color. So what we could do is expand fill and just set it to be a flamey yellow. What we could also do is add a gradient to this so it looks a bit more detailed.
All right.
So let's go to add again. Yeah, and gradient fill. If you expand gradient fill for the moment, we've got a ton of controls, the start point, the end point, and we can change the colors. If you scroll out for a moment so we can see more of the comp, we should see, try selecting gradient fill, and then scrolling in, I can see it there. Right in the middle of the screen, we've got our end and start points for the gradient. So grab those and put them on the flame. So that's the end point of the black point. There we go. And if you zoom in again, there. So that's, and as you can see, that's a linear gradient. So we could try a radial one and see what that looks like. White and the black, and then obviously we can go in and change the colors. Does that make sense so far?
Think so.
Okay, so let's change the colors. If you click edit gradient, and there's our white and our black, and this is pretty similar to Photoshop and things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's nice and cartoony for what we're after. It's working quite well. So now let's add a glow. So go to effect, stylize all the way at the bottom, glow. Okay, so, oh, and there it goes, it's applied it. It's not looking a great ideal right now. It's also only got a glow radius of 10, so let's up that to say 50. And maybe up the intensity so we get a stronger set of colours.
Too much.
Too much. Now what we could do is, it's taking the original colours of the flame and enhancing them, but we could set our own. So if you change glow colours from original colours to A and B, we can then set new colours in the glow settings itself. And that's what gives us the real control over it. Now it's making a really, really intense center of the candle, so we maybe drop glow operation. That's one of 5 candles, but we now need to light the others.
Yes.
A couple of different ways we can do this. In fact, there's 3 different ways I can think of off the top of my head. The shape I mentioned, the shape layer can have multiple shapes on it. So what you could do is select shape 1, so that one there, and if you go to edit duplicate, you will make a copy, an identical copy of that shape layer. But if you expand shape 2 now, and expand transform shape 2, you can adjust its position. So you can just tweak that over. But when you do that, it's an identical shape with identical settings. Wiggle paths is being applied simultaneously to both of them. So they do sort of end up looking identical.
Yes.
So
a lot.
Yeah. So if you stop that playing for the moment, let's delete shape 2. And instead, let's precompose. And I think precompose is one of the most useful tools in After Effects. I don't know if we've actually looked at it at all before, but it's well worth doing. So if you right click on shape layer 1 and choose precompose and name this flame, what it's going to do is it's going to take all of shape layer 1 and it's going to put it into another composition inside our card. And what we can now do is, if you have that highlighted and hold down Control and tap D, or edit duplicate, you make a copy. And then you can hit P to expose its position, and you can drag its position over. So now we've got an identical composition, but obviously it's at the same time, so we're no further forward. Mm-hmm. But what we can now do is you can drag flame, the second flame, in the timeline towards the left. And now we're looking at that same flame animation, but a few seconds later.
Right.
So far so good, except the only trouble with that is if you double click and go into flame, you see there it disappeared at the end. That's because we've now shortened it. Yeah. So if you double click and go into flame, and if you go, it's because it's a tiny little flame, we could have made the composition much smaller if you just set it to fit up to 100. You see it's just up there in the top. If we go to composition settings, and just adjust the time, just change the duration to say 20 seconds. And then if you zoom out on the timeline and just drag the shape layer to the end, we've now got a comp twice as long to play with in our 10-second comp. So if we go back to card 3, you can just drag the end of that to the end. You can just drag the duration of the pre-comp off the end. There we go. So now just duplicate that 3 more times. Now the beauty about doing it this way is if you decide that the glow just doesn't work, you want to make a change to the glow, all you have to do is double click any one of those flame comps, which opens up the original flame composition, and you can make whatever changes you want to it, and it will be applied to all 5 of the other candle flames.
Right. So I could tweak the shape that's driving me.
Contents. Let's have a look at the other thing you want to do on here, and then we can show another way of speeding up your workflow. Let's solo words for the moment. So you want this to wipe on.
Yeah.
Probably the simplest thing to do is make sure that layer is selected and go to Effect.
No.
Either way. It's if you know what you're searching for, then the Effects and Presets panel is the great way to do it. If you're not sure, and we're looking for a transition. So we'll go down to transition. So we've got all these different transitions, and some of them are decidedly 80s. I'm looking at you, CC Jaws, but others are more like 90s. CC Light Wipe for a start. But linear wipe is your pretty standard. That's going to just be a linear wipe across the screen. So if you apply that, and if you just drag the transition complete, the 0%, you'll see what it does. So it's wiping off the words happy birthday.
Oops. Yeah.
But if you go from 100% to 0, it's wiping them on. But backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So set it to say 50% for the moment. And it's keyframeable. So we will choose the speed and everything. What we want to do is, that shouldn't be showing us the back end of happy birthday. That should be showing us the front end, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
So if you use the wipe angle and drag it round, now if you mess with the transition complete, you'll see what that does.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Okay. And maybe put a feather on, say 20 pixels on the feather, just to soften it.
Ooh, no.
Okay, so now unsolo it. And we've got like its demon counterpart, its shadow underneath. So this came in from Photoshop. You've done it as a separate layer.
Yes, because I wanted to keep the linear burn so that it comes out right on the underneath layer.
But we want that to wipe on as well, don't we?
Yes.
So, again, this is a time-saving tool. If you select linear wipe in the effects control, hold down Control and tap C to copy it, then select linear burn and hold down Control and tap V to paste it. But one thing that we haven't done is set any keyframes. So even though it's copied the effects over exactly as we had them set for one layer, we haven't got any animation, so we're now faced with animating everything twice. Right. Which sucks. Mm-hmm. So what we want to do is expand linear wipe on the words layer. So twirl. You objected to the word twirl.
I'm not objecting. It confused me.
And linear wipe. And do the same for linear burn.
Effects.
Yeah. And okay. So now using the pick whip, link all of linear burn's effects to their counterpart on the words layer. So yeah, click and drag that up exactly. Now they're matching and you're not seeing any change right now because we just copied the effect over. But if you did make a change, then it would automatically update and you wouldn't have to make any changes.
Okay.
So you can collapse linear burn now.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay, so now set your transition complete to say 100%. And set a keyframe. And then say go halfway through. This is only a 10-second comp, about 5 seconds in. And set a keyframe for 0%. And let's see what that looks like.
Cool.
It's a little slow though, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can probably speed it up. So let's grab that second keyframe and move it closer to this first keyframe. And of course the beauty is, and why I'm asking you to do this, is that we're updating linear burns keyframes at the same time here. We're not having to then make a second change.
Can I... So if this is the flame and I can just go in there?
Yes.
So I wanted to make it wiggle a bit faster.
So change wiggles per second from 2 to 4. Say. That would double the number of changes it's going to make.
Cool.
Cool. So a couple of different ways of time saving in After Effects. And making a birthday card.